I'm very clear about something. I need to like me. Others don't need to like me. So what you see here today is not how I spent my entire life. I came from a middle-class family. My father did not have enough money to even support my year 12 education. And I said to him, that's fine. My brother and I are a year apart. So he said, well, I can either pay for your A-levels or his O-levels. She's there because she's a boss's wife. What does she know about logistics? What does she know about procurement?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Hustle powered by Jetex, a brand new talk show from Gulf News where Manjusha Radhakrishnan and myself, Dhanusha Gokulan, speak to the movers and shakers of UAE and figure out what makes them tick. Today we have with us someone, and we're going to speak to someone who has made the business of fruits and vegetables very, very cool. Please welcome Halima Jumani, CEO of Kibsons. Provider of the freshest farm-to-table fruits and vegetables. Welcome to our show, Halima. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure and honor.
Halima, can I just tell you something? You're a lifesaver. I'm a mom of 3. I always see Kibson's truck parked right under my building. And for a person who hates going out physically to stores and finding out produce, you have actually made my life so easy. And I thank you for that.
Kibsons started sometime in the 1980s. You joined them 2007. What state was the company in when you came over? And what kind of changes did you feel like you needed to make sort of immediately?
So Kibsons was started by my father-in-law, Mr. Hussain Ismail Khatri. And I think it ran for a good 15, 20 years before my husband joined the business. When I joined the business, it was, I suppose, at a state where it was a small business, a lot of work was required. So Jamal was on the commercial side. He was looking into commercial contracts, buying and selling. My role was supporting him with all the back office functions, finance and ops and hiring and so on. So
you were working another full-time job, right?
That's right, yes. So
Yes, I remember, yeah.
So I had my career with KPMG, and clearly the family business at that point, because we had a small payroll of about 30 to 50 employees and couldn't really afford KPMG. So this was my way of contributing to the business, to the family, looking after the numbers, setting up the right financial infrastructure, and so on. So parallel to my own career, I was always at the family business. And that's what you do for a family, right? You support them, you help each other as much as you possibly can.
Family is really important.
Listen, that reminds me of Karan Johar. He taught me right from a very young age that it's all about loving the family, right? All his movies are all about having people in the family work for him, etc. Have you ever thought of taking this company public then? Because you seem to have taken that credo very seriously about loving the family.
There's a journey for everything. So there's a time and place to keep it at the family level, to add that value, the speed, the agility of decisions. And then there's a time to go public, maybe use those extra capital to run a bigger vision.
Right, I get that. You know what, I was just wondering, like in journalism school, we were told not to work with your own family members right above them or work with pets. I don't know why that happened, but whatever that is. And I really took it to tea. Never marry a journalist because you bring work home. What is your equation with Jamal? Like, how do you guys, what's your downtime like? Do you still talk shop?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. And we often get asked this question, how do you balance it being husband and wife? If I worked with my husband, I would have killed him, or like vice versa.
Right?
Yes, I would have.
We were discussing this when we were
Good on you. Good on you for keeping the marriage alive. Yeah.
So let me tell you something interesting.
Yeah.
Jamal and I were actually arranged to marry.
No way.
Oh my God.
Come
no.
on.
And nobody would believe that.
I do not
I had
believe
an arranged
that.
marriage too.
Yeah,
Okay, we need to
no,
talk about
yes.
this.
But how that cohesiveness? How?
We were
Arranged.
we were amazingly obedient kids. What can I say?
Wow. I didn't peg you as an arranged marriage kid.
Yeah,
It's
that
shocked me a bit.
just completely changes.
I just thought
trajectory.
you will be the kind to go find the love of your life, tell your parents, I'm a rebel, I'm going to do this. You just married somebody that parents just lined up for you. Go,
I
girl.
mean, obviously, I think you're being a little too hard on her, but I'm sure you liked him before you said no, right? But walk us through that. What was that?
Listen, she can't go on camera and say, not so much.
No. 25 years, 3 kids. I mean, we are.
So the love is there.
Yes, we're
How
deeply
did that
in love.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I think it's very beautiful because we have, I think, more than love, been very respectful of each other. I think been friends and companions, and valued the fact that we are complete opposites. So whatever Jamal is good at, I'm not, and whatever I'm good at, he's not. And so together we are stronger than alone. So to be able to respect each other's domain and then bring together in a powerful way, consciously, that has been our journey. Now I think we reflect on it and I can coin it in and articulate it in this manner. But when we were going through those years and phases, it was just how it was.
Do you think being in an arranged marriage helped you form a business and grow a business much better than if you guys found each other through love or whatever?
Yeah, you mean to say love marriage often
Yeah,
is more
yeah.
turbulent? Arranged marriage, I think you have to
did it
grow to
work
like
in
him,
your-
right? I
Did it
think
work
with
in
me
your
it was like
favor?
that. Yeah.
The truth is, our family values align from day one. And so the amount of respect Jamal and I had for each other's parents was, I think, the foundation of everything we've achieved in our lives. And from that stems the fact that my respect for his father was so substantial that everything flowed. Mind you, nothing was planned. So our lives were not planned, but it was driven by this code of respect and trust, and the desire to do anything for each other.
Yeah, I had an arranged marriage, but trust me, I tell my kids all the time that find the person you like, because times have changed as well. How can we know what you want, But I'm so glad you are like, a prototype of a very successful arranged marriage. I mean, I have 3 kids and I can say, yeah, it works. And like I said, respect really counts. I think it's all about knowing what the other person brings to the table, respect the differences. At some point, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I never pegged you. I'm still in a bit of
I'm
shock.
still, I'm still reeling from the fact that, because I was so sure that you guys fell in love. It was a Hollywood marriage. As far as, I mean, we pictured it that way when we were,
Because
doing
you're
our
the OG
homework.
boss lady. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
We saw you guys. I'm like, yeah, I can see you guys meeting in some boardroom, and then I don't know,
Sparks fly.
Yeah, I think we watch too much Bollywood. At the end of the day, I think that's what happens. Darusha, really.
But you famously call yourself something of a military operations director at work, right? And at home, you're a very regimented parent. Does that make you unpopular?
Yes,
how do you do
incredibly unpopular.
You're comfortable.
Yes, and that's okay. I've always been very clear about the fact that I'm not here to win any popularity contest, and it's the rules that create the discipline, and I'm okay with that.
Really? And no, but how do the employees perceive you? And your kids as well. I will have to ask you, how do your employees and your kids see the bad cop act?
They know that they cannot mess around with me, and that's okay. I hope they also understand that if they are committed to their work and their performance and they deliver results, then they won't find someone who can appreciate that more than me.
At what point did you take on that role? When you decided, okay, you are going, I'm sure you must have had, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you've had this conversation with your husband, you know what, I'm going to be the bad cop, you be the good cop, and we'll see how it goes. Was it like that, or was it just naturally that way?
Something tells me it came naturally to her. Listen, I know my role.
I call this planned anything. It was understood. I was the bad cop, he was the good cop, and that's okay. We're just aware of being the opposite, to support each other, I suppose.
Yeah, with my husband, when I have to play the bad cop, I feel so bad though. I'm like, I want to be popular with my kids too at some point. But then he's like, you're a much better one at disciplining them. It's a tough job, man. Parenting isn't easy. It doesn't come with a manual telling you what to do, right? Or are you a natural at it?
See, I'm very clear about something. I need to like me. Others don't need to like me.
Oh, wow.
I put that on a t-shirt and walk around.
I need to like me.
I need to like me. But you guys will figure it out.
Where did that influence come from? That level of confidence? Was it your parents, your mentors? How?
See, everything I am today is owed to my parents. There is no two ways about it, right? Like we were discussing this earlier. There's no one who will get to sit on this seat who hasn't really had a tough life. So what you see here today is not how I spent my entire life. I came from a middle class family. My father did not have enough money to even support my year 12 education. And I said to him, that's fine. You know, my brother and I are a year apart. So he said, well, I can either pay for your A levels or his O levels. And obviously, that was my introduction to subtle discrimination in life, right? My brother was more important in the family, and his education was more important than mine. So that was my beginning. And it was kind of beautiful because I never judged my father for that. I understood the fact that he was sharing his vulnerabilities, and that's okay. So that's how I learned to share my vulnerabilities with my kids today, right? And that's okay. My mother was very supportive. And so I was able to work at an early age and support my own education. And she never made me feel for a second that this was something sad or terrible. You know, we as a family stood together and said, we're supporting one another. There came my notion of family support for each other. So I started working when I was 17, paid my own fees, paid my own post A-level celebration vacation in the UK. You know, went on to work with KPMG and never looked back. Never perceived as a difficult situation to be the end of the world. You know, there's always a solution. So I think my introduction to life was about finding solutions. So who am I today? I'm actually a problem solver. What is my role as a CEO? I have to empower, enable people so that they can problem solve for themselves. So providing the tools, right? The positivity, the fact that it's okay, we got this. Something will come around. We will always find a solution. Life will always throw curveballs at you. And I began dealing with them much earlier, I suppose, is why it's the attitude.
My first urge, if I have an editor, like, thing is run to him or her for solutions. I think somewhere we need to arm ourselves with the confidence, right? It's not easy. I'm sure you worked at it, right? Did it come easily to you to, like, you know, take charge? Did you know you were CEO material from day one?
No, in fact, I was very happy with my finance role. I was very happy with my ops role subsequently because that's what I sort of shifted towards. And always did this for a purpose. So it was always about chasing that learning or the growth or the education. What do I want to do? What excites me? When I was doing my MBA, I remember I really wasn't very keen on entrepreneurship classes, but so happened that one of my best friends at uni, he was all about entrepreneurship. So I took a few courses thinking, you know, what am I going to miss out? What is Dan doing? You know, what will I miss out? Never planned a business. I was very happy behind the scenes. But this was my destiny, and here I am. And I don't think I ever put on that title until the day I was ready for it. So my career progression was just like anyone else's. I was a trainee, I was a manager, I was a senior manager, a director, and I progressed very authentically. The worst thing you can do really is to lie to yourself about or overshoot on what you think
You worked your way up. I think that's what I see. I mean, you worked around the corporates, the big ones, the Barclays, GE. You had real ground knowledge as opposed to just having things handed to you in a platter, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure employees at Kibsons must have also had reluctant respect for you. How was that like? I mean, like, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, once I know you left the job at KPMG at one point, right? When you realized 3 kids, 2 jobs, this is it. Like, focus on one aspect of your life. So at that point, what was your relationship with your employees like? Did they know that, okay, you're going to come on full time? Like, were they prepared for, you know, the changes that you were going to bring and how you want to turn things around?
And boss's wife. What
Yes,
is that
yeah.
like?
What
I
was
mean,
that
being the
like?
boss's wife, do they immediately like, she got things? I mean, do they look you up?
Even today,
Your profile? Even today?
there are new joinees who come from their their experiences, 10 years in procurement, 10 years in logistics. When they join Kibsons today, I think they still think that, oh, you know, she's there because she's a boss's wife. What does she know about logistics? What does she know about procurement? you wouldn't believe, but there are people who join our team and they refuse to talk to me because sometimes they come from a sense of what they know best. And there's a lot of judgment about
Resistance.
yes. And I suppose it's important to recognize that because we are always looking for the right attitude, the ability to unlearn and learn. And I always tell my team, the world of e-commerce is new to us, right? The future is new to us. So somebody who wants to hold on to what they know can never step into that unknown future because they're not ready to change.
This resistance, did you feel among your industry peers as well? Or because Dubai is known to be something of an equal opportunity employer. So are you. As far as I know, the mix at Kibsons is quite balanced. But do you, the issues that you mentioned when you initially joined work and you faced, and some people not wanting to talk to you, do you face that outside in your industry as well? Like when you work with your suppliers, your
Of course,
market, everywhere?
it's we are dealing with humans, and that's one of arguably that's one of the most difficult things to do as a business leader, to deal with humans or to manage humans, and it's okay. And therefore, I think the need to understand them better, to have that deep empathy of your team, to understand what works, what doesn't work, to be able to connect them to the job that where they can thrive, to figure out whose values are not aligned with your corporate values. I was going to say Kibsons values. And
It's the same. I mean,
yes,
more or less.
our values are your values. Yes, and that's okay. There is a time when people need to leave the business. There is a time when you need to infuse fresh, fresh expertise and fresh attitude. And so that's the journey.
Halima, at any point did you feel like, let me take a break? I'm great at my job, lovely at my job, superb. People are taking me seriously, but I'm kind of done. I need, I just need a break. I go through it between us. I don't know. I go through it every 2 years.
I go through it every weekend.
And every week.
Every weekend. I need a break
I'm done.
that extends
Today,
to the next
this
week.
morning, she was just telling me, after this, I'm taking a break. I'm like, honey, you've just started. Calm down. You can't take a break anytime soon. But when do you know? Have you done it?
So fortunately, I love what I do. I've always loved what I've done, and that has made my journey very easy. But there was a time in 21 where I did sort of step back and said, I need to spend some time on my own, and the business needs to breathe without me, and then we'll see how things work out. And this was after the COVID era. So the COVID nearly killed us all. People think that, Kibsons' business must have done so well. Yes, but at what cost? We had to grow threefolds within a few weeks. We hired about...
Demand must have been crazy.
Yes, but to respond to that with a small team wasn't that easy. And I'm so glad that we were able to do that. I think the reason why we survived that is because the team shared that value, that this was not just another growth spurt, but this was our opportunity to support the residents of Dubai. So we were second in line to healthcare in terms of emergency services.
Yes.
And we took it in that respect. I remember Jamal telling me, Halima, even though our own import expenses were going up, he said, do not increase the prices on Kibsons because this will create further panic. So our focus was to reduce panic, to support the residents. And we did it with that ethos. This was not a business enlarging exercise. This was about doing the right thing in the moment. And then after that, I think the following year, we experienced the gas leak.
Yes,
yeah.
That was
quite a stressful
which
time
was,
for you.
Yes, it was a stressful time, but it was also a test of our team, right? We pulled it together and we came back within 7 days. So I think after that, there was a moment in my mind where I said that's enough and I need to just step back. Took a year off. Very lucky. It so happened that my son had completed his placement year, so he had a few months. So he and I traveled around the world.
Oh, wow.
Sounds
Nice.
brilliant. This
Yes.
is this is the life. What new skill did you learn?
Where did you go? What did you
So,
like?
he took me around to watch all the Grand Prix around the world, and I learned a lot. And I understood the sport, developed a love for Max Verstappen, and now I have a McLaren thanks to this journey.
I love it. A lady driving a McLaren. Yeah, that's a great
a lady
portrait.
in the fruit and vegetable industry, right, is
driving a
totally
McLaren.
unprecedented. Honestly, there are times when I used to walk in there all by myself, all alone, all these years, and even today, there are very few women in this industry.
Yes.
So yes,
I
sometimes
don't know any women in the trade, in the fruit and vegetable trade industry. Maybe I don't cover it actively, but still, like, you know, you go to the Avir market, the fruit and vegetable market, it's all men running the show there. I don't see women. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a
So,
single.
yeah,
I don't
you
go to
are
the
a
market very
minority.
often, but still, like, whenever I've gone, it's all
minorities
men.
stroke celebrity.
I love it. I love it. Yes. What's the skill that you learned apart from watching? I mean, going on a tour with your son. There must be something that you learned.
Yes, I wanted to try boxing, so it gave me a chance to experience that.
And all that anger was out of you. That's it. Boxing is very therapeutic.
Why
I've
boxing
tried
though?
boxing.
Did you
Yeah.
like?
You just think,
I remember I used to
"Give me
ask my
that."
coach, I enjoy it so much. Does that make me a bad person?
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. We all
Have you
need
ever
a outlet.
like gone professional, fought in a ring or some kind of amateur
Oh,
fight
no,
or
no, no,
something?
no,
Is
no,
that
yeah,
you
not
want-
that
do you want to
level,
do
yes.
that? No.
She just punched.
And then
That's-
I learned how to do the makeup.
There you go.
Wow.
So, it was something I never had a chance to. And I thought, oh, this is an important skill.
I want to come back to the subject of COVID though. Honestly speaking, I don't think any of us have got a break, right? COVID hit. You had all of these regional geopolitical issues, the war in Russia, Ukraine, all of that. I feel like as people, we haven't got a break, right? And I found it very interesting about the tough decisions that you had to make. So much so you finally decided, you know what, I'm going to take a sabbatical. I'm off. But I want to also know what would you say are some of the more tougher decisions you made during that time that, you know, took you to that state of exhaustion?
During the COVID period?
During COVID, following that gas leak. And it's generally been a little
It's a
up and down.
relentless, I
Yeah,
think.
relent-
The hustle
like,
is
you know,
relentless, isn't it?
One thing is clear, that I couldn't really just tell my team to manage the situation for me, right? I had to lead and walk the talk myself. So that was the difficult thing to do, to be there on the floor with them, because that's the only way you earn respect. And that's the only way your team understands and shares your vision with you. So, for example, I remember putting the drivers and the pickers together and telling them that
The drivers and the
pickers.
Because, okay.
Yes. So for 3 months during the COVID period, not a single staff at Kibsons took a single day off. And they volunteered for this because I was there with them at the front, right? We worked 16 hours a day. And the two things that I remember from that period is my sleep and my showers. Those were the only two things I was grateful for. Even food was like a blur.
Yes.
But to be there with that passion was easier for me because it's a family business. I love what I do. I don't know if this was sort of a paid career job. What would that have been like? Right? Jamal and I were able to make those tough decisions about money. So we really didn't make any money that year, but it was okay because our focus and our values were not finance driven. They never have been. In fact, one of the biggest things in life that I have learned after studying advanced corporate finance in my
money is not important,
is that, the business, that if you make business decisions purely based on finance, they're never going to turn out right in the end, because you're going to be compromising something more important than numbers.
No, but I always thought the companies during COVID, they just took off, they became multi-billionaires. That's, I think, a misconception that I had. And then here you tell me,
it's either
in 1 year you didn't
one
make
way
any
or
money.
the other. Either you became millionaires or you went bust. Wasn't that the general
two
trend? Yeah,
extremes.
two extremes.
There's only
right?
black and white.
And of course, many companies survived.
I thought Pharma did, Aster to Hoff, and I remember those brands like really doing very well. And I assumed that all the e-commerce sites did well. I just assumed. But here you're telling me for 1 year you guys were just hustling hard, weren't you?
And that's okay. Every startup will go through that phase. But it's about knowing that life is longer, right? You're going to eventually make it work because we believe in what we do. And we believe in our ability to execute it and solve those challenges in due course.
What was the biggest challenge though? I mean, during that time, immediately after COVID, you had the gas leak. Like, what was that like? Because you must have been worked to the bone, exhausted, were you looking forward to like a nice little break and then boom, this thing happens? What was that period like?
Tricky, very tricky, because we were stabilizing, shaping up the team, and then this was sort of unprecedented in the middle of already slow season, because this happened in July, August, so that's already a slow time. But every experience in life teaches you something. It's there to teach you something. And so what we recognized from that experience is that our brand had a place in people's heart, right? I didn't need a focus group to tell me that. Neither did I need this incident to tell me that. But for 7 days, I wondered whether we will ever go back to that level of sale after a 7-day shutdown. And day one, we surpassed all our records on revenue for that period.
Wow.
So I think it created a renewed sense of responsibility in my mind that, if our customers, if the residents have come to trust us that much, now there's another responsibility for us to step up and deliver and keep delivering, keep that commitment going. And the question always is, how do we make our 2 million, second million delivery as good as our first? And how do we deliver? How do we grow with those values that we had when we were small? So always a challenge, but that's our target.
What's your relationship with money? Interestingly, you kept saying that, don't think about money. But can I just tell you, I come from a middle class background. So for me, I always do. I'm very bad at money, but still.
Yeah, she doesn't know the difference between a debit card and a credit card. For her, it's both the same. It's just card.
Very bad. And I don't know how many zeros are there in a million. Still figuring it out. Shall come there one day, just because guys don't discriminate. Some women are just, I don't know if it's a women thing or a men thing, not good at it. But what's your relationship with money? And do you come from a place of privilege where you say, I always make fun of Staza interviews saying that only a rich person and a privileged person would say money is not important, fame is not important. I find it difficult to honestly really
kind of,
buy into that.
When entrepreneurs and like successful business people come and tell us money is not that important. No, it is. It's very important.
And you come and see my debit card and credit card.
So what's your personal
Like I said earlier, I come from that place in life where money is important. There's no doubt about it. But I've also always known that money is the root cause of all evils, right? Oh. So in my mind, we need to have that control over money. Money cannot control us. And to be able to value it, to be able to not waste it, to be able to appreciate it, and to be able to be humble about it. If I'm not humble about things in my mind, my kids are not going to learn that. So there's no point in me questioning what are the values of my kids unless you follow it yourself. So I think we are aware of its merits and demerits, and you kind of make decisions accordingly.
Okay, but tell me, what's the most indulgent thing that you got?
Indulgent?
Yes.
The car, the
McLaren is the most indulgent.
No. Other than...
and the color,
I said, what's the color? Out of curiosity, what color?
It is a McLaren orange. It's the...
Oh, really?
Yes. So we, Jamal and I were raised in a family mindset that you never buy any cars with anything that shows off. You've got to be very subtle. You've got to have subdued colors. And I learned this from my son, actually. He said, Mom, you're bold, you are strong. This is your color. You need to own it. And so it made me think, and it made me change. And I said, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. There you go. That's the most spontaneous decision I've taken against Jamal's wishes.
How do you feel though when you clutching when the money went out of your bank? It's not a small...
like you do. You enjoy it.
You do?
Wow. Oh, that's nice.
So is that the most indulgent thing that you've done?
It's the most special thing I've done with my son. It's a memory from a lifetime. I mean, he and I now connect on this topic. We share this love and passion. You should see when we see the car, when you drive it, we are...
Did you see the new movie F1?
Yeah, of course.
Didn't you love it? Yeah. Even for a person who's not an F1 fan, I was all for it.
My drive back home was kind of inspired.
I love it. Did you like Brad Pitt? I thought he was the most well-preserved human being on earth.
Who doesn't?
No, I just thought he's aged so well. It's not easy, right? I mean, to It's so well. I'm sure. I have to tell you, I didn't realize you had such like grown-up sons. You look so well preserved.
Yes.
Kind of like Brad Pitt.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, tell us the secret. Don't say yoga, please. Yoga is going to. We do yoga, and I don't see that. Actually, we don't.
Are you one of those people who wakes up at 3:30 in the morning, dunks your face in ice cold water, and gets on with her day?
The truth is, I always am in a position where I'm defying the odds, in the sense that we're living in a day and age where women have to sort of prioritize career over kids. We talk about freezing eggs and all that, and as career driven as I was, I never felt the need to compromise my life, my personal life, to be able to pursue a better career. And so I'm one of those who married at 20. I wanted to finish my ACCA qualification before the age of 21. That was my target. So I did. I finished that at the age of 21. I was pregnant at 21. I had my first child at 21. I planned my second child at 22. I applied for MBA program at 24. I graduated at 26. I had my third child at 29. So never really had to, compromise. And both ran side by side. And I think that's the biggest secret to my attitude, the way I live life, that if you focus on one thing at a time, if you prioritize your life, what really is important to you, something will always have to give. But if you can prioritize, and for me, family was very important. So my family was always important. My career was always important. And I'm very fortunate to be an example that, if you just use your 24 hours carefully, you can be okay.
You did everything in your 20s. So on your 40s, what's on your list? What's there to conquer now? You've done it all. You've ticked all the lists, had the kids, went around the world with your child, drives a McLaren.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
what's in your bucket list now?
It's a good question. Yes. Maybe the IPO, maybe the plans in Kibsons. Who knows?
Nice.
Throw us a
Who
bone.
knows?
Come on, Halima. You can give us more. Throw us a bone. Give us like a timeline.
It takes time, right? Any good project takes time. Any good vision needs careful thoughts and meticulous planning. So that's where we are. It's a very exciting phase of what's next in Kibsons, but I can't reveal everything on the show here.
What was that teenage or that young child like?
The entire credit of who I shaped up to be goes to my mom. So when I was 6, I remember she signed me up for a United Nations exam.
At 6?
Yeah, it's like 6, I think. I'm sorry, maybe it was 7. Yeah, it must be about 7.
Okay.
Yes, I know, bizarrely. And then it so happened that I remember it was a Friday weekend and they were watching TV in the other room, and my mom said that anybody can watch a TV, but you are meant for bigger, better things. And this is something really important. I mean, she gave me her pep talk, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's a good pep talk. It worked.
It's like that kind of self-belief in a child, obviously, it does wonders.
It works on your confidence level.
Yeah.
I think so, even without you realizing.
It does. And what I achieved from there, I was so small and so shy to be able to even, talk to people at the time. And I remember my name being called out in the school assembly. And I thought, what have I done wrong? So I hid behind the person in front of me. But eventually I had to go up to the stage and they said that I had topped the world on that exam, not just the city. So since then, I suppose my mom always put that that voice in my head that, you are special, you are intelligent. It was as if I was the queen of, my life, and I could do anything I wanted to. So strangely, at 13, I was clear about the fact that I wanted to do ACCA, and I wanted, and I was so clear. I remember that I had checked the qualification requirements to enter this course, and they required 2 A-levels, right? So I thought to myself, why should I spend 2 years of A-levels doing 3 subjects when they require only 2 subjects? So sharp and clear, I didn't want to waste any time. I did my 1 year, 2 A-levels done, and, sort of went on straight into it. Most people, for instance, would do 3 years of the exams and then 3 years of articleship. I did both combined. So I finished 6 years worth of work in 3 years.
Did you party at all, child? What were we doing at 13? You're listing out these achievements. And I'm like, at 13, I couldn't decide what color to wear. Yes. And how do I have more fun with friends?
Yes, I
What is
understand.
that like? Being so sure about life.
Yes,
The
very
wanting
focused and very
different-
happily focused. So this wasn't something that I was doing to make my mom happy. No, I think she just helped me discover myself. And that's what I try to do with my kids. I try to give them the space to discover themselves as much as they can. And yeah, they work hard, they party better than I did ever. But that's okay. But look, guys, you got to understand, I do not belong to this generation, right? I come from a time, the Dubai where I was born and raised is no longer.
It's from
Do you miss
Lithuania.
that?
Do you
Today,
miss that? Yeah.
maximalism is in. Dubai
Do you
bling
miss
works.
seeing like Hard Rock cafes? You drive down Sheikh
Yes,
Zayed
Hard Rock
Road,
Cafe
and
was-
when Trade Center was the tallest building on that strip. Do you
good
miss
times.
seeing all of that? Do you miss that kind of a life?
So look, Dubai was born in 71. Jamal was born in 73. I was born in 79 in Dubai. So we were born and raised in Dubai. And so we've literally grown with the city, right? And the word evolve, it is, right? That's what it is. You evolve, you appreciate the moment in which you are in, you kind of really embrace it, go through that journey experience, and then you change. So like a butterfly, the cocoon stage is important and the butterfly stage is important. Does the butterfly miss the cocoon? Maybe, but it's also happy as a butterfly.
The UAE really moved in the direction where they wanted to cut reliance on imports, right? There was like a lot of push to grow produce locally. We had vertical farming come up. Even Emirates kind of, moved in that direction with Bustanica. So I want to understand from you, like, what kind of steps did you take to ensure that you have more produce coming in from the UAE market or from the GCC market?
So for us, it is important to be able to connect with these farms and buy as much local produce as we can to support the demand, right? Compared to what we've seen in the last couple of decades, local agriculture has risen.
Oh, dear, it has gone
We
up.
make
Yeah.
berries.
Yeah.
Even berries.
We grow
love it.
saffron.
Yes.
Can you believe
So
it? We
I
grow
like that.
saffron now in the desert. Saffron's
Really?
being grown. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
But it's never enough, right? So we sort of exhaust the local production and then we use the imports to sort of top that up. So that's the role we play.
So are we doing well as a country? You think more could be done? More could be done.
Can't really jump there, but you are on the journey.
We have been debating in our newsrooms of late, which is the best mango. It's the season of mangoes. You have to put it out there. I think you are an authority.
Yes, you are
in
an
it.
authority. You're the
You're
only
an industry expert.
You're the only
Tell us.
authority on this subject right now.
You have to tell me, and we're going to put it out there. It's going to be the last word.
Yes.
Ladies, you've got to understand something, okay?
I
People,
love it. I love how mangoes get like, yep, let's get into this.
okay, people have their own favorites from where they come, right?
Makes
Food
sense.
brings you back the sense of home, the taste of home, right? So if you ask an Indian, they'll say, well, my Ratnagiri mangoes are probably my best.
Yeah, actually, I like the
Chausa
chausa mangoes.
Chausa, yeah.
Brilliant.
I love those.
Yes, Alfonso's are very
And
nice.
if you ask an Egyptian, they're going to say no. The Egyptian mangoes are the best. That's how, people are.
So it's all memory driven.
It's all memory driven. It's all your fragrance driven. And for me, my Sindhris are close to my heart. So I look forward to them. But everybody has their personal choice. For my kids, they're so Australian in their head. They are, the Australian mangoes, the R2E2s. Yeah. Or probably replaced by the Brazilians.
Yeah.
I mean, their mangoes are really cool too. The Palma mangoes, big ones.
What's the more exotic products you're bringing in now? What new stuff can we see on the Kibsons shelves?
Yeah. What do they want really?
I don't know what people want, but the one customer who makes really unprecedented wish lists in the procurement department is Jamal. So the other day he said to the guys, he cooks every day. He's very passionate about his food and his cooking. And he says, guys, I want fresh wasabi root. This wasabi paste and bottles and all this is not enough. I want a fresh wasabi root. So the boys, there's no demand for it really. And we brought it in for this customer, sold a little, didn't make money, but that's it. That's okay. That's the most exotic request I've heard recently.
Jamal is a purist, by the way.
Yeah,
When he cooks, I can almost imagine. Yeah. He's like, no, the wasabi doesn't work for me. Sorry.
He wants the fresh one. He wants to grate it exactly like Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah.
What was he making though with wasabi root?
He
Does he make
cooks
Japanese?
in the office every single day.
In the
every different
office?
group. Yeah, we've got a beautiful kitchen, and he and his procurement director, his buddy since.
Is that the bonding session? Oh, that's a nice one. Cook,
It
cook,
is,
cook with
yeah.
your boss?
Yeah.
Does that work? Is it a...
If they want something, it's on Kibsons. If they don't like something, we remove it from Kibsons. We know it's not good. So there's a quality check going on from my perspective, but they love what they do, and it's so nice to watch.
Did you take part in it? I almost feel like you just watch from
I
the
have
side
my
and you're
lunch
like,
every
you know what,
day
not
based
my
on what they
monkey.
prepare.
And you also operate in a highly competitive landscape, right? Like you have players like Talabat. What's it like competing with them? Because they give everything, right? Like how do you do that?
So I think we exist in the same landscape, but we do very different, and we have very different roles. We do very different things. So they are more like a marketplace, right? Where they connect you with the restaurants and the food and the kitchen and so on. I think Kibsons is the only pure play in the fruit and vegetable e-commerce space. We don't, we're not like a tech shop. We're not like an Insta shop that connects buyers to sellers. We import our own produce. We manage our own cold chain. So the different temperatures in which we store different produce is so important to us, which is why your produce, if you notice, when you buy from Kibsons, does not die quickly in the fridge.
Yeah,
And it lasts
I
it
can
stays
guarantee
forever.
that.
It
Of
does.
course.
It stays forever. It
Yeah,
stays
we
forever.
could go on and on, I guess,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
have to wrap things up. The last question, of course, I want to ask you is, what is it being Halima Jumani?
Yeah, what's a typical day in the life of Halima Jumani look
Yeah,
like?
tell us all
What do you
about
do?
it.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
You pray, you meditate, right? As that's the ultimate. You think about God. You say you're grateful for everything you have in life. I mean, I think everybody should start from that. That zone is so important. To be humble, to be rooted, and never take your life for granted. The fact that we are here alive and safe is just really an awesome beginning every day.
Okay. After the prayer, what's next? We
Do
still
you
want
work?
to know.
Do you work?
Yeah, but meditation is so important, right? And there you go. I mean, well, this is how Muslims, I think, meditate across the world. They have that moment, and it's embedded in our routine from an early age. Exactly. So, well, I try to get my fitness done. I have to be honest, this year has been very hectic for me, so I haven't. But my goal is to sort of go back to that 6 a.m. fitness, and then I don't know where the rest of the day goes, because it's just such a wide range of departments that I manage. But I can tell you one thing. Being Halima Jumani is being satisfied. I think I'm very satisfied and happy and okay with everything life has blessed me with.
I love that. I want that kind of,
Obviously, while pursuing a growth story, right?
yeah.
It's amazing. That it's great to be in that state of mind where you're content while you still want to grow.
Which is very
That's
difficult. In fact, I had a LinkedIn post once about it. That how is it possible that I am so content, so satisfied, yet so driven and ambitious, and I want to do more, and I have so much, in my head. But I suppose it's possible.
If not Kibsons, where else would you have shopped? Be honest.
Anything where the quality is great and it's affordable. So,
do you feel like you're the main character in a movie while walking through fruit and vegetable market? Yes or no?
yes, being a female in the fruit and vegetable market, only because of that.
Oh yeah, that does automatically makes you a movie star.
There should be some nice music playing.
But the
to
caveat
match
is that I don't look like this every day, okay? So I don't really look like a movie star.
Don't give out the secrets yet. If Kibsons were a fruit or a vegetable, which one would it be and why?
Obviously, our logo, cherries.
Oh.
And why? Because all of the fruits you can sort of have all around the year. Cherries are special. You got to wait. You can't have them all throughout the year.
Now that makes sense. Thank you very much for that. Yes.
What's your go-to snack when you're in the middle of a busy hustle day?
Oh gosh, if I actually did have a snack, it would be blueberries and my nuts.
Oh, lovely. And what's the most unusual item a customer has ever requested through Kibsons?
I said that, right? The wasabi root, the fresh wasabi root.
By your husband. Just to...
And
But
if
your
you were to define Dubai hustle in one word, what would you say it is?
I think it's busy and good busy.
Good busy.
I like it. And have you ever played the woman card?
The woman card? No. I play
Never.
the mom card, not the woman card.
I like that. And if you could have any celebrity do a Kibsons delivery, who would it be and why? Think about this.
Look,
Hey, Brad.
I don't think we would do a Kibsons delivery, but if I had someone to receive the delivery, I would be Fazza.
Oh wow!
That's
I did
correct.
not see that coming.
Yes,
Sheikh
but
Hamdan.
yes. What would you deliver to him? What do you think he wants? He has
Anything
he
he wants. I mean, he can ask for anything, and we'll make that happen.
That's a nice ideal customer to have. Thank you so much, Halima. Maybe Manusha, you want to like give us a quick wrap of
Yes,
the
you know
conversation
what?
you had so
Suddenly, yeah, this is what I've learned from you, and such a
far. Yeah, we want to end the segment by discussing the main things that we have
Yes.
learned from you.
What
So-
I've learned from this conversation, apart from wanting an orange McLaren, of course, is that it's okay to take breaks, number one. And also, even if you're not popular, it's okay. You're not in it for being a cheerleader. You're not going to be popular, and that's okay with it. Another one I thought is you saying that it's good that you always look at your kids and you want to spend time with them, and you don't have mom guilt because you know very clearly what you want. And lastly, even though your parents kind of discriminated a bit, you took it in your stride, you made it your strength and not a weakness, did not crib about it or have therapy sessions for the rest of your life, and still made it happen. And I'm so proud of you with each. I think she's a boss lady.
Yeah,
the
you
OG
really
boss
are.
lady.
I really want to add on to that. I love the fact that you said that you can be content while being ambitious. That's incredible. That I feel would be my biggest takeaway from our conversation.
And I
today.
think
Yeah.
ambition from a point of content is very powerful.
It is. Yeah.
And
'Cause
money
you're
is not important. Remember that.
Money is
I'll
not-
say that when I have my first million.
The money is important, but you can't make decisions for the sake of money only.
Got it.
Got it.
But thank you so much, Halima. I've learned so much.
Thank you
from
for having
you,
me here.
And just so glamorous as well. And she's a minority in her field.
Yes, thank you so much, Halima. It was such a great conversation.
I don't know. I just enjoyed this chat and I learned so much. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Our next episode lands Thursday. For more, log on to gulfnews.com.